Alright, hello YouTube. I played in another quad, and this one was significantly better than the last one. Last time there were 2 GMs and 1 NM. This time it was 1 GM and 2 NMs, so quite the improvement. Round 1, I played Benjamin Bach of Twitch and Kick fame. I was the black pieces. It didn't go horribly, but it didn't go well. It could have been worse. So he just like made chess moves, and I don't know what I'm doing, so I also made chess moves. And I already hated my position, but I tried to keep playing chess. I mean, this is just bad. The thing with Blitz is like you have to like keep playing moves even if you don't want to. And I didn't want to play moves in this position, but I kept going. Like all of my pieces are stupid, but at least they're out. And he's gonna like just positionally outplay me and get, you know, it's gonna suck, but that's what you gotta do. H6 is just like, I don't know, I'm just playing moves. Knight takes, and I'm already like worse, like much worse here. Like I don't have anything reasonable to do really, so I did this. And then I realized my horsey didn't have any squares. So I went d4, which apparently is best, but also, like, my position sucks. And he takes with the rook, which I guess makes sense. And, you know, typically you don't really want to trade queens against these grandmasters because they know how to do it. But I had no option. I had to go for this. Apparently bishop takes c5 is a little better. Keep rooks on, and maybe this rook is a bit clumsy. And maybe I can build pressure more on the f-file is the idea. Who knows? But I did this, and apparently he shouldn't have traded, so I don't actually know what's going on. And yeah, I was hoping for some tricks. Bishop, and I wanted to play g5 or h5 here. Mainly I wanted to play g5, and I talked myself out of it because I saw like h3. And I didn't really know how to keep going. But at the same time, I don't need to. I gained space, but also I was scared, and I thought I was going to hang my knight, so I didn't do it. But my intuition was screaming g5, and it's what I should have done. I just played b6 after a lot of thought, which is equally good, so that's fine. Again, I wanted to play g5, and I didn't. Rook c8. I kind of was expecting this, and I was kind of... It's opposite colored bishops. Like, he'll probably still outplay me somehow. But, yes, bad luck. First round against a grandmaster. But he went here. Oh, he went h4. Okay, he went h4, king f7, because I didn't want my king to get stuck on the back rank. And now this position isn't even that bad for black. I thought I was kind of holding on here. g4, g5, I kind of have to play, or he just steamrolls me. And he takes, which I thought was... I wasn't expecting that move at all. It's good, but for some reason I wasn't... I was expecting h5. I don't know. What do I know? I'm not a grandmaster. Then he goes e3, and he's setting up a little tricksy doozle for me. I almost like sent bishop e3 automatic. Because he's lost here. But I was like, wait, this is a grandmaster. They don't hang stuff like that. If I take here, he takes my horsey. I took a pawn, he took a piece, I still have a piece hanging. Therefore, I'm lost. That's math. So I didn't do that. I just went b5, which is not... Like, logically, it makes no sense, right? Like, if I'm trying to draw this, my pawns are... Like, he can't do anything about my pawns. He can't kick my bishop. Like, that's frozen. But also I was scared, and I was like, sometimes if you do nothing for too long, you lose. So I played b5, and rook c1 I didn't see. If he doesn't have rook c1, I think it's actually kind of a reasonable try. Like, I don't know, like, he doesn't really have anything that good looking. Like, say he goes rook h1, I don't know, I put the bishop somewhere so I can play rooks, like, okay, he plays rook c1, so none of this makes any sense. Bishop e7 was such a hot move that I missed, and I almost resigned. Because here's the problem, right? So if I play rook c7, he goes bishop a6, and I cannot defend my b-pawn. If I go b4, he goes bishop b5, and it's like, what the hell is happening here? As the arrows pointed out. But anyway, I don't know what the hell's going on here. This is what the Grandmaster pointed out. So I was like, I can't really do that. And if I play rook b8, I lose. Because well, first of all, I mean, it's just this. Like, I just can't. I'm just losing. Because if I defend my guy, he takes and takes. So I played rook d8, I think. Yeah, I played rook d8, bishop c6 was cringe. And then I just hung a piece. Like, I just panicked and I just hung a piece. But I'm lost, maybe. I'm not lost. If bishop d6, bishop takes b5, rook b8, he is like, this is, I mean, I'm not losing. It's like, really? I think I'm losing. If I were playing someone like at my skill level or lower, it's like maybe I hold. But I'm not holding this in 1,000,000 years against anyone like above, I don't know, 2200. I mean, in Blitz, I guess anything's possible. But like, I think get this to a greater depth, I'm just lost. But anyway, I just like, he just took my knight and I was like, oh, I'm just a fucking idiot, and I resigned. So that is game 1. So round 2, I played Julian Prolego, NM, 10 points away from FM, etc., etc. My strat here was, because it's Blitz, we're not gonna do any d4 positional shit. Like, fuck that. We're playing e4. We're just gonna play purely on instinct. Like, this is a bullet game. I could take him in bullet if I trick him into playing as fast as me, which I think, like, that's his system. Like, he'll try and, like, get me down on the clock. Like, I mean, you know, we'll play like a normal bullet game. So that's my system. So e4, c6. We keep it simple because I don't want to think. a6 struck me as like teensy tricky because it's probably has some point. It's probably not a great move, but it probably has some point that is being implemented so that I'll think. And I was like, I'm not gonna think, fuck that. I'm just gonna play d4, and it's true. And then I played all of these moves, which are all about, you know, like, they're very reasonable, if not best. White is already, like, much better. Maybe not much better, but it, like, +1. H4 is kind of necessary, I think. If I do anything slower, like, I don't know, what other move would I play? Like bishop f4 or something? If I try h4 now, oops. No, okay, yeah, something like this. And then I don't have time for h4. But anyway, I went h4, which is good. f6 didn't look so good to me. I take on g6, I play bishop d3, and this is our weak point. King f7, queen f3 automatic. We put the queen where the king go. That's chess. And I have many idea so far. He go bishop d6, and I'm like, huh, I feel like knight d5 will be a tactic at some point. I may even be able to play it now, because like he goes somewhere and I might have this. I don't, because it hangs my queen, which is why I played the move bishop d2, because I want to take on e5. The computer actually says that I can take on e5 right away, which is pretty cool. My intuition was really helping me out this game. King f8, and then I should take on b7, and that, you know, that makes sense. But I was trying to like be more solid and have more pieces out before I went crazy, so I went bishop d2 first with the idea of taking on d5. And he went knight d7, so now I can't because he defended it, but that's fine. I just castle queenside, and now I can put my rooks on, like, you know, wherever they need to be, and all my pieces are good, and it's attacking time. So knight c6, and now I'm still trying to get knight d5 to work. So I play h5 with the idea of, I mean, he attacked d4. I didn't want to play a very passive move, like defending d4 somehow. Like, I didn't want to play queen e3 because I felt like my queen was placed really well. And like, my pieces are all good. And h5 is actually, like, by far the best move, just ignoring everything, allowing knight d4. And actually, after h takes g6, knight takes g6, bishop takes g6, I have the queen d3. So we can't do it quite yet. So that was another big point I had. So that's why he captured first and then played knight d4. But here my second point was that bishop g6 here takes, he can't do this because of queen d3 just winning a piece. So he plays king e7. But now I have knight takes d5. And my initial intention was to just like take back on d5, and this is a mate threat, and I'm attacking the knight, so he's just lost. But then for some reason at the last second, I thought I had to, like, it didn't really make any sense, but I played this move because I wasn't calculating. I was just like, like, you can't go to the back rank because I have this, so I'll keep my rook on h1 for these reasons. And like, I don't know, like there's maybe this, and then he played bishop, like I thought this was minimum, but he played bishop e5, which I just didn't see was legal. And then I was kind of pissed off for a minute. I considered the move rook takes e5, briefly, like for a few seconds, and I was like, this is, he's got to, like, my queen's hanging. Like, I can't do this. So I went bishop b4 check, and I'm like, okay, his king is still in the center. I still gotta be winning this somehow. I play queen takes d5 check, king c7. And again, I find like the only move that keeps a winning advantage. So I guess I'll at least let you try unless you have already seen the game. But like, white to play here and find the best continuation. I found, I think, every idea, but I didn't put them together exactly right because I was trying to play fast because it's blitz. Yeah, a6 to avoid bishop b5 check, yeah. No, I actually saw the queen sack idea too that Vlad pointed out. I had the exact same thought. Like if he goes here, if the rook was not on h8, like I would really, like I knew I had the same thought. I really did. Like, it doesn't ever work. But I was like, yeah, there's like something maybe like tactically happening. So don't give me a move, give me a line. Yeah, I mean, my whole strat was just like, don't get down on the clock. Like, that's how you lose every game. This is blitz, just go. Don't leave time to doubt yourself, just make moves. All right, so I played bishop a5 check, and the point is that after b6, I have queen c7. Or queen f7. Apparently queen c5 is much better. I thought this was like pretty... I calculated the line slightly incorrectly. So the line I saw was queen f7, queen d7, takes here, and then I was seeing, oh yeah, rook takes h8. If queen takes f7 and he takes back, I have this, and rook e8 was my idea. So that's what I was trying to make happen. I wanted him to take on f7, and then so I could take on d4 and play rook e8. So that was my big idea behind rook h8. There's a much easier win, which is trading the queens. This was the one idea I didn't see at all. Like, I didn't see this at all. Like, I didn't see this. But white is just winning here. But I was like set on just take my queen, let me play rook e8. So I played c3, which hangs mate in 6. So if you want to try and find that, be my guest. It's actually quite simple. If you just give me check every move, it's mate in 6. So bishop f4. So that would have been bad. It didn't happen, but that would have been bad. But I wanted him to, I don't know what this was. I wanted him to take on f7 or something, but that still doesn't, I don't know. c3 is just stupid. I just needed to think more, but I was already down a minute, and I don't know. And this was so unlucky because I don't have this, so I just kind of fell apart, like, and resigned. But I honestly played that game really well, and I saw a lot of cool ideas, and I feel like I did just sort of like, that was a pretty cool intuitive piece sacrifice. All right, so that was round 2. Round 3, maybe a little bit sadder. I played everyone's favorite quadrupeds, or second favorite, depending on who you are. The Llama Lord, aka Caleb Denby or Bendy Cable. was also an NM. I think this is quick rating. But I played e4 against him too, just because it's so much easier to play, I think, in a fast time control, or at least maybe I know e4 a little better than d4. Which is strange because I play d4 in classical, but whatever. So it was another one of these, but he played like a real move. Like this is the correct way to play with black, which I've only had twice over the board. People have only played the correct way against me twice in my entire life. Everyone else plays really stupid lines. And so now I'm actually having to remember theory in a blitz game from 4 years ago was the last time I looked at this. And I actually did it kind of. So e5 is correct, knight e4, knight e2, this is all correct, queen d6, d4, e6, and for a second I don't know, you can probably see in the VOD, but I'm like reaching my hand for the knight on f3. I wanted to play knight g1. It seemed like a logical move, because the knight is somewhat trapped. But after f6, I didn't really know, like now he is this. And then I remembered that the reason I'm looking at knight g1 is because if bishop g4, then you play knight g1 and white is actually like close to winning here. And that was, so then I realized that was what I was remembering. So I just played knight g3, which was normal and best. But that is why I wasted a minute on this position. That's what went on in my head. So knight g3, knight takes g3, h takes g3, and he told me this is sort of the old way of playing, and apparently the reason people don't play this anymore, this way with black anymore, is because of f takes g3, and you castle kingside and you get pressure on the f-file, which makes a lot of sense. The way I learned it was years ago, and what was popular back then was h takes and like h-pawn. So c5, c3, knight g5 is apparently good. And then I played knight takes, and then I just hugged my e-pawn, which he didn't see either because it's blitz. I shouldn't hang my e-pawn, is what I should do. I should play like bishop e3, which is much more normal. But thankfully it's blitz. And then I went king f1, and I was quite happy with my position, and I kind of started to relax a lot because I made it out of the opening alive, and I didn't really, I don't have any weaknesses or problems. My king is actually very, very safe where it is. I have a lot of pawns in front of me for shelter, and I have a lot of play and things to do on the king side, while his development is kind of difficult. So king d7, bishop d7, bishop e3, h6, queen g4, castle's queenside. And for a second I was like, really? You know, like, really, you're gonna let me take on g7? And I almost gaslit myself and was like, oh, he's an NM. He's an NM. But then, you can't do stuff like that. I was just like, but how is he? I have so many pawns. I'm fine. So I threw in a check, and then I took on g7. White is just much, much better. Bishop b5 takes king g1. I think white is actually approaching like just completely winning at this point, because I am so, like, the f-pawn falls, then the e-pawn falls, and the d-pawn falls. The h-pawn is like dead. I have the c-file. This bishop is doing nothing. I'm super, super solid and safe, and he has no play. So queen e2, and I already saw tactics happening. I was like, okay, the f-file is gonna open. He's gonna have like bishop e1. There's gonna be some nonsense. I just have to be careful. Take on f7. I'm threatening things. Like, sometimes I guess this is a move, but also it's mainly about the e-pawn. We trade the rooks. I played king h2. I could also play rook takes h6, but I think I really liked leaving this closed. I mean, I didn't really consider rook takes h6. Thank you for the Twitch Prime, Peter Swindler. Feels amazing for 3 months. P. Switty. So king h2. I mean, again, I'm just kind of playing on instinct. This struck me as very incorrect because I can just take, and you know, this isn't really, this is pretty toothless because I just play queen h3. Bishop e1. I should just play rook takes e1, queen takes e1, and then take. It's, yeah, that's pretty brutal. I have quite a few pawns there. But, I played bishop f4 with the idea of queen e8, rook f7, e6, king h8, queen c8, mate. So he said, you know, he played b6, I gave check, and then he touched his king, and I think he was regretting it. I think he wanted to play rook c8. Because now queen takes d5 is check. So king a6, I push the boys, he comes in, and I kind of was like, all right, let's trade the queens. I don't want to have to, like, I don't want to hang something here. Rook takes b2. And then I was like, I feel like there's something wrong with this move that I can't really see. Like, I felt like there was tactics somewhere, and I wanted to play, but I was like, oh, but why don't I just play bishop e5? And then it's like, the queen can't get to my pawn. And the reason you don't do that is because it hangs mate in 3, because the h5 square, the only important square, the only square that ever had anything on it, like for him, I just like blocked it. That was, my queen has been keeping an eye on that square forever in one way or another. And then I just played bishop e5 like a complete idiot. And the reason I did it was because I was tanking here. And I was like, just play something. Just play, like, why are you trying to make the, don't be perfect, just play a move that's winning. And then I went here and I lost. So those were my game. You know, and it's tough. It's tough because I played that game kind of well, except for hanging the e-pawn. Never too late to blunder. It was the only way to lose. It was the only way, besides, like, I don't know, something more ridiculous. But I can't believe that, man. And I felt the choke coming. I knew it was about to happen. I don't know. I think I'm just like really rusty over the board, and like it's good that I'm playing now before Mid-America to get it in. But yeah, that was pretty sad. Can you go back to king f1? I thought it hung queen takes d4. Oh, no. So this is tactically defended. Which I knew, obviously. Could have been a great tourney. Try again next week, surely. Yeah.